I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle kind of didn't allow me to really see where my groin was at. It was, I think, my second full court workout back when we were in.
Today, the WNBA finds itself at a crossroads that few league executives expected to face so publicly and so dramatically. For years, league officials have spoken about steady growth, expanding audiences, and rising cultural relevance. But behind the carefully worded press releases and optimistic interviews, a troubling reality has begun to emerge. Whenever Caitlin Clark is not on the court, viewership numbers fall sharply, social media engagement drops, and national attention fades at a pace that has left league insiders deeply concerned. What was once a quiet statistical pattern has now become impossible to ignore, and the panic inside WNBA offices is growing louder by the week. Caitlin Clark's arrival into the professional game was not supposed to create this kind of imbalance. She was expected to be a star, yes, but not a lifeline. Yet the numbers tell a clear story. Games featuring Clark routinely outperform other matchups, even when those games include reigning champions, MVP winners, or long-established franchises. Television ratings spike when she plays, ticket prices soar, and arenas fill with fans who previously had little connection to the league. When she sits out, whether due to rest, injury, or scheduling gaps, the sudden drop in attention feels like someone turned off the lights. This has created an uncomfortable truth that league leadership is struggling to address publicly. The WNBA has long promoted the idea that its strength lies in collective talent rather than individual superstardom. The league's messaging has focused on parity, teamwork, and shared excellence. But Caitlin Clark's impact challenges that narrative. Her presence alone changes the economic gravity of the league, and her absence exposes how fragile viewership loyalty really is. What makes this situation even more intense is that Clark's popularity does not come solely from traditional basketball fans. She brings in casual viewers, younger audiences, and even people who rarely watch professional sports at all. Her long-range shooting, confident demeanor, and fearless style translate perfectly to highlight culture. Clips of her shots travel across platforms like wildfire, pulling new eyes toward the league in a way marketing campaigns have struggled to achieve for decades. When she is not playing, those viral moments disappear, and with them goes the casual audience that tunes in for spectacle as much as competition. The league's internal data reportedly shows steep declines in average minute-by-minute viewership during non-Clark games aired in similar time slots. Broadcasters notice the difference immediately, advertisers notice it even faster, and sponsors begin asking uncomfortable questions. Networks want star power. They want recognizable faces that guarantee attention. Caitlin Clark currently represents that guarantee in a way no other player does, and that reality is forcing the WNBA to confront a dependency it never planned for. This panic is not about disrespecting other players or diminishing their talent. The league is filled with elite athletes who have dedicated their lives to the game and delivered championship moments that deserve recognition. The problem is not the quality of basketball. The problem is visibility. Sports leagues thrive on storylines, personalities, and emotional attachment. Clark has become a focal point for all three, while many other stars remain unknown to casual viewers despite years of excellence. There is also an emotional component to this crisis that often goes unspoken. Some within the league feel resentment toward the attention Clark receives, while others fear that embracing her popularity too openly might undermine the league's long-standing values. This tension has created mixed messaging that confuses fans. On one hand, the league benefits enormously from Clark's presence. On the other hand, it seems hesitant to fully center her as the face of the sport, worried about backlash from those who believe. This hesitation may be costing the league valuable momentum. Every season presents only a limited window to capture and retain new fans. When those fans tune in expecting the excitement they associate with Caitlin Clark and instead encounter games that lack familiar narratives or promoted rivalries, many simply drift away. They are not rejecting the sport itself. They are responding to a lack of emotional connection. Sports fandom is driven by attachment, and right now, that attachment is disproportionately tied to one player. The viewership drop during Clark's absence also exposes another issue that league executives would rather avoid discussing. The WNBA has not successfully built a deep bench of nationally recognized stars who resonate beyond core fans. While insiders and longtime supporters can name dozens of elite players, the broader public cannot. This gap did not begin with Caitlin Clark, but her impact has made it painfully obvious. When one player's presence can double or even triple ratings compared to league averages, the system surrounding her must be examined. Some defenders of the league argue that this is a temporary phase, that new stars will emerge, and that Clark's popularity will naturally level out over time. But sports history suggests otherwise. Leagues that fail to capitalize on transcendent figures often regret it later. From Michael Jordan to Serena Williams, from Tiger Woods to Lionel Messi, moments of mass attention are rare and fleeting. When they arrive, leagues either build around them or miss opportunities that never return. The WNBA's panic stems from the fear that it may already be losing control of the narrative. Fans notice when games are promoted heavily only to see the star attraction missing. They notice when scheduling decisions seem designed around one player's availability. They notice when commentators subtly acknowledge ratings drops without directly addressing the cause. Silence, in this case, only amplifies speculation and frustration. There is also pressure coming from sponsors who invested expecting consistent growth. When campaigns tied to high viewership games suddenly underperform because Clark is not on the floor, confidence begins to waver. Sponsors do not operate on optimism alone. They operate on metrics. And right now, those metrics are sending warning signals that cannot be ignored. The league's challenge is not to reduce Caitlin Clark's importance, but to expand the ecosystem around her. Fans drawn in by Clark must be introduced to other compelling stories, rivalries, and personalities while they are already paying attention. This requires intentional storytelling, strategic marketing, and a willingness to highlight individuality alongside teamwork. Pretending that the problem does not exist only deepens the dependency. The answer to that question may determine whether the current surge of interest becomes a foundation for lasting success or just another fleeting moment. One thing is undeniable. When Caitlin Clark isn't playing, the silence is loud. Ratings fall, buzz fades, and the league feels smaller. That reality has triggered panic, not because it is embarrassing, but because it is revealing. It shows exactly how much potential exists and how easily it can slip away if mishandled. The WNBA now stands at a defining moment, and the choices made in response to this crisis will shape the league's future for years to come. In the end, this is not just a story about one player or one season. It is a story about visibility, storytelling, and the courage to adapt. Caitlin Clark did not break the system. She exposed its cracks. Whether the league chooses to repair them or ignore them will determine whether this moment becomes a turning point or a missed opportunity that fans look back on and wonder what might have been.